Alright boys, so I hope you enjoyed some of that footage of me having kind of a lazy Sunday, just cleaning up the garage, getting things organized, and some B-roll shot of all the cars that we got sitting over here. I posted on my Instagram. I want to do a little bit of a Q&A, answer some questions you guys may have for me. I have never done a Q&A, so I figured it'd be kind of cool, even though I didn't get a whole lot of questions, but we could talk about just a couple of them. Alright, so my first question is from my boy Mario back in Louisiana, and he asked, will you drift the Silvia and what's next for it? Now, this is a question that I've asked myself like every single day since I got the Z, and even before I got the Z to drift it, is what I want to do with the 14 and do I want to drift it? Now, y'all already know I do want to drift the S14. Like, in my heart and soul, it would be so cool, it'd be so much fun, it would look super cool drifting. But is it smart? No, it's not. It's a terrible idea, okay? I think back on all the years I've owned this car and all the money that I've put into it, and it probably would have been more worth it 5 years ago to drift it and put the same amount of money I have building a drift car, a nice drift car, than just a nice kind of street car. I don't know. Maybe one day we'll take it out on the track just for like a fun drift pad, just a couple of laps. I think it'd be cool to get some footage of it, some pictures. But to drift it, purpose drift it, no, that's not the plan for the car. I have very little motivation with the 14. Mario, especially y'all know exactly how much work went into the car in Louisiana. We tore apart the whole car, we pulled the motor, it got painted, the engine bay got painted, a bunch of new parts. So it's at like a really good point, but it's also just incredibly boring. Like, the car is super boring to drive. I don't know if that's gonna be, you know, top mount turbo, you know, a better tune, E85 line. I don't know necessarily the right step, but for now I'm really enjoying having like a very clean street car, and it's gonna stay that way. Some little things, I want to like redo the lip kit that goes around the bottom of the car. It's made of plastic and it's waving, so I want to redo that in some good metal. What else do I want to do? Maybe some interior stuff. I definitely want to get seats in the car. Seats are hella expensive. It's Brent 21. Brent, my boy, he asked, S14 staying a static display, or is she gonna bust a rod on track too? Yeah, obviously everybody wants to know is 14's gonna stay a pretty princess. MC Michael, my boy Michael, will you ever drift the 14? That is just a very big question, everybody. Brent, Michael, it's staying a static display. I'm still gonna drive it hard. We're still gonna have a fun street car. But like I said, I don't know exactly what's next in terms of like big modifications, other than continue to make it look pretty as a static display. Which, don't get me wrong, it's super sad to say that because I love the car and I don't want to get rid of it just because it's boring. But drifting is so much fun. But no, I'm not ruining this car, just drifting it. Eduardo asks, what do you do for a living? Like, how hard did you work? That's a very interesting question. So Eduardo, I started working when I was very young. I didn't come from a bunch of money. I think I started working when I was like 13 or 14. So I worked pretty hard, and I would say I make a okay living. Obviously enough to afford a drift car and some other stuff. The biggest reason the S14 is gonna stay static is because drifting is so expensive. So I kind of want to like, you gotta have a cost analysis of like smiles per gallon is what people say. So the S14's really expensive just to own and operate for the past 5 years, and it's brought me a lot of smiles, but also one weekend in the Z brought me like an unbelievable amount of joy. And I don't really see that going away in drifting, because I see people drifting for 10+ years and having a ball every time they go out, and their biggest gripe is like, yeah, it's expensive. You burn through tires, you're gonna break the car, this and that, everything costs a bunch of money. So kind of harboring two projects at once, getting into drifting, staying into the S14, is gonna be super expensive. So Eduardo, I'm gonna have to work harder. I'm gonna have to find ways to save money, make more money, and yeah. So Am I gonna paint the Z? When? When am I gonna paint the Z?
No, me.
The only way that the Z gets painted, thanks Shayla. Shayla asked the question, when am I or we or she, when is the Z gonna get painted? Not this season, but maybe next season. Wintertime next season, I want to thrash the car, right? And I want to get a very good understanding of what parts go bad on the car, where most of the damage falls on the car, on a drift car, right? Have that to be my focus during the season and the start of the off season, getting spare parts, replacing parts, doing the maintenance that it needs to be a good drift car. And then we can kind of shift our focus into making it look baller. Not a fan of how the Z looks. I think it looks okay, but I'm not a huge fan. Like I want to do some crazy stuff to make it look good. The problem with making it look good is you're not necessarily going to want to slide it, because then you could damage what you just made pretty. And I'd rather drift a not so pretty car and crash it because it's not pretty than a pretty car, which the problem with the S14 is it's super pretty. So imagine I crash this, or a tire explodes and I rip off half the body kit. That'd be a huge bummer in the S14. But in the Z, I blow up a tire and rip the bumper off and I'm smiling. It would be hilarious. All right guys, well I really hope you enjoyed this kind of style vlog video thing. It's literally just a boring Sunday, but I wanted to get something out because I've been way too lazy with the YouTube stuff, so I figured something is better than nothing. Drop a comment down below if you want to see me do something to either the Z or the S14, or you have a video idea, or you just have a question. Drop a comment, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content, and until next time boys, stay strong. Love y'all.